A little difficult to understand, huh? Okay. So, my dear friends, did you start any kind of a reading after these classes? Did you start any kind of a reading? Meanings in the passage. Okay. So that's a common problem for all of you, no? Hmm. Okay. Mohan, you got 16 and a 30. So okay, so for you also that's the same problem. Okay. So just tell me one small thing. I asked you guys to read the one article per day, no? One new article per day. Did you guys start doing that? Meher, lengthy passages, huh? Hmm. Meher, passages will be that of that length only, Meher. They'll be of 500 to 600 words only. What about Chandrasekhar and Pawan? Did you guys start reading newspaper articles? Words are difficult to understand. New words are a lot of new words are there. Hmm. Sharmila, what seems to be your problem? Sharmila and Akhila, you guys have just come, no? So 15 on 13 and 30 on 30. So what seems to be your problem? Okay, okay, sorry. I thought because your name was Pawan Padmaja, sorry, my bad. So Padmaja, no, you have not started reading newspaper. Okay. So let's try to understand this, okay? Uh, if I were to teach you how to swim, would you be happy with me just sitting in front of a computer and telling you, you know what, you have to put your first arm first, and then when you push the first arm or the water with your first arm, you have to raise your second arm? Would you be happy that way? And can you go on to a sea and start swimming? No, right? The same way, no matter what I teach you in the class, if you don't explore new words, if you don't make flashcards of the new words that you are reading, you will not remember a lot of new words. And the major problem is awareness. So, guys, look, I'm pretty sure, I'm not pretty sure, but I think you'll have one more test this week also. Okay? And you know me, I don't like to make fun. So, I will give you reading comprehensions. My sincere suggestion is, because today is still Tuesday, start reading a newspaper. Since you have time, please read at least one page of the newspaper. If you're not able to read one page, at least read one article or two articles and make the what? Flashcards. Look, if you're not doing that, then obviously there will be a lot of words in English that you won't know. Okay? Let's be very, very honest with each other. No matter if your college gives me 400 classes, I can't teach you all the words in English, even if you give me 400 classes, right? So with 5 classes of vocabulary, I'll be able to teach you somewhere around 100 to 150 words. Now, there is absolutely no guarantee that those will be the same words that I will be giving you in the exam. So, Jhansi, you had to read the passage twice to understand, but you don't have that much time. So now, look, again, over here, there is 2 points. First point, do you remember my first reading comprehension class? I gave you a few tips on fast and efficient reading. Jhansi, were you there for that class? Yeah? Jhansi, is your name Jhansi only because I often, because of these long names I'm pronouncing and I'm calling people in the wrong way. Okay, anyways. Now, in that first class, if you remember, I told you a few tips for you to read fast. And I told you that if you are not reading every day, then all these tips are going to go to waste. Correct? So try to understand this. Yeah, this is just like you riding a bicycle. When you start riding a bicycle, you'll fall like a lot of times. But if you stop and then you start after 1 week again, no, you're not going to remember how to ride it. You'll never know how to balance your cycle. So you have to, at least in the early stages, for at least for the first 1 2 weeks, you have to give that time to verbal. You'll have to give that time, like at least 1 1.5 hour you have to spend on verbal, reading new material, reading random material, and whatever new words that you find, I need you to Google them and make flashcards of that. Look, I didn't even ask you to read a lot of stuff, no? I told you, right? If you're not able to read a lot of stuff, you're not getting interest in reading a lot of stuff, watch an English movie with subtitles. From there also you can get to learn words. Okay, so look, unless it's taking a lot of time to analyze and make the summary, yeah, that will take a lot of time for now. That at least for the first 20 30 passages will take a lot of time. And that's not a problem that's a very uncommon. It's a very common problem. Even a lot of my CAT students face the same issue. Look, but the whole key is not to get demotivated when you're not able to read it fast. Okay? Yeah, Shivaram Pawan, that's what I was just saying. Because look, I've seen over what at least some 8 to 10 CAT batches that have struggled with this issue. A lot of students they start reading in the first day, second day, and third day they'll forget it, they leave it. Because of which all the effort that you put in your first and second day, that's going down to the drain. Okay? So please make sure you are doing this at least for 1 week. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a small story about it. So there was this sage. Do you know who a sage is? SAGE, sage? Swami. Baba. You know, right? Yeah, okay. So there was a sage to whom a mother took her child, a small kid. Okay. That mother goes to this sage and she starts complaining to him, saying that Swami, my son is eating a lot of jaggery. Jaggery is sweet. I'm worried that he will spoil his health and everything. I want you to solve this problem of mine. Tell me some nice way in which I can solve this problem. The sage very calmly asks that woman to come after a month. This woman goes to him after a month. He tells the solution. The woman listens to the solution. She follows that solution. Her son stops eating jaggery. Her son stops eating too much sweet, excess sweet. And then the woman comes back to the Swami and asks him, Swami, if this was such a simple solution and you could tell it to me in 1 day, why did you make me wait 30 days for this? The Swami tells that woman that in 1 month, I myself tried to stop eating jaggery. So until and unless, no matter how great you are, until and unless you practice the skill yourself, you cannot be able to suggest it to other people. Okay? Trust me, I have tried these things that I've put in your slides. These things you won't find otherwise on the internet. Okay? These are all my experiences that I'm sharing with you. These are experiences of my students that I'm sharing with you. A lot of my students have faced an issue in reading fast. A lot of my students, especially students with a non-science background, they face a lot of problem reading science passages. Students with science background face a lot of time to read the business passages, economics passages. So I want you to read one passage from the newspaper every day on a different topic. If you do that for 1 month, then I'm pretty sure your English and your verbal ability will be better. Fortunate or unfortunately, right now you have that 1 month time in your hand. Because of all these virus and the pandemic that's spread around, you have good amount of time in your hand. Okay, see, I completely understand if it's very overwhelming for you and you need some time to make changes, but I suggest one passage a day is not going to be very hard. Okay, so anyways, most of you have gotten good, better than 22 on a 30. There are a few of you, 5 to 6 of you, who have gotten less than 20. So those of you who have gotten less than 20, please make sure you're sending me a mail today in which questions you have gone wrong. Okay. If you want, you can give me a call after 8 o'clock. Okay. Because I have another class after this. So you can give me a call after 8 o'clock to discuss those questions where you went wrong. Okay? All right. Now, for today's class, I'm going to teach you verbs. Now, mind you, I'm sharing my screen, so please don't write on the screen. I have disabled the participant annotations anyways, but I can never trust Zoom. So whatever. So yeah, let's go forward. Let's learn verbs. Are all of you ready to learn verbs? Guys, you there? Okay. All right. Sure. So now a lot of people have this small confusion when I say verb. They immediately refer to something of an action. They say that verbs are action words, but to me a definition needs to be simple and comprehensive. Okay, what do I mean by simple and comprehensive? I mean to say that it should cover all the points. So to me, verbs are not just action words, but verbs are words that show a state of action as well. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Let me disable chat settings. Yes, I think it's done. Okay. It's done, right? Okay, cool. Now, if you look at these words, you can see that, he runs fast. These are a few exemplary sentences that I've given, wherein I always have someone that I'm talking about and I'm telling something about them. So very clearly I can identify the subject and the predicate. Okay, but when I'm asking what is he doing, okay, then I'm going to get the answer of the action or when that action was done. So that is known as a verb. So what's a verb? Very simply, a verb is nothing but action or when the action was performed. Okay. Now let us look at this example. If I'm saying she is intelligent, okay, I am talking about her, some woman. So she is going to be my subject, and I'm telling that she is intelligent. No, so I'm telling is intelligent is going to be my predicate, correct? But what action is she doing? Her being intelligent is a function of the time, no? Yes, maybe tomorrow she's not intelligent, maybe yesterday she was not intelligent, but she is intelligent now, correct? So this is the part wherein I was talking to you about a state of action. Okay? All right. Now let's move forward. The most important part for you to learn in verbs is verb tenses. What is verb tense? Verb tense is nothing but the time or the situation, the state in which a verb has taken place. Okay? Now, ideally, there's only 3 time zones, correct? Let us say that you are here right now. Maybe yesterday you were here. Maybe tomorrow you'll be there. Today you're here, right? So essentially, I have only 3 time zones, which are nothing but the past, the present, and the future. Okay. Now, if I'm writing the present tense in its very plain form, okay, I'll have words like play, write, all of these. Okay. But if I want to see what does this thing happen to yesterday, I have to say he played, he wrote. It's not going to be writed, it's going to be wrote. Okay. What about tomorrow? Will play. Okay. Will write. So do you observe that usually in future tense, we are using will as an addition, right? So this is called as the simple tenses. Okay. We'll learn what are the different ways. But before that, let me tell you about past tense. Okay. Yeah. So in past tenses, we have something called as the simple past tense. Now, what do I mean by simple past tense? See, so far we have seen everything in terms of the what? Time zone or the time level. But when we are talking about any action that is happening, we also have to give some kind of a benefit for the action, right? Now, what do I know about an action? Maybe an action is starting sometime. Maybe an action is ending sometime. Am I right? So an action can have a start and an end. Now, if an action starts in the past, okay, and ends in the past only, then it's known as a simple past tense. Okay. So where do we use this? Simple past tense is used to relate past events. Okay. And is often used only with an adverb. Now, what is an adverb? We'll get to know in the next module. Am I clear? Okay. Let's look at one example. This will be a good example. He came to my office yesterday. Okay. So what is the action over there? The action is coming to office, correct? Did he come to the office today? No. When did his action start? Yesterday. And when did his action end? Yesterday. Right? So very clearly, he is coming to the office yesterday only. Does going to write tomorrow is also correct or not? Sriram, I didn't get your question. I mean, what do you want to ask? Going to write tomorrow, what do you want to go and write? Sriram, I'm waiting for you. Okay, I don't think I think you're typing. So, anyways, okay. Instead of will write, you want to say going to write tomorrow. Yeah, you can, but why would you want to? See, unless you want to specify the time that is tomorrow, I don't see any point in you specifying like going to write tomorrow, right? So if I say I will write, that is going to be anytime in the future, no? So depending on the context, you should be able to use your words. Okay, all right. Now, if an action starts and it's going on for some time, okay, then it's known as a continuous tense. But what about past? In past, we use things like was telling, were telling, was hearing, were hearing, etc. Okay. So basically in the past continuous tense, you're definitely going to have was or were plus verb form plus ing. Okay. Now, what kind of an actions can we refer this to? This is referred to two past actions, but one can take place while other longer situation is happening. For example, the bell rang when the teacher was explaining a class. Okay, so over here, it'll be the verb will be was explaining. Are we clear with all of this? Guys, I'm going to go slow, take 2 minutes. Ask me all your doubts because I understand verb tenses can be really, really scary for a lot of people. Okay, so the time in my watch is 3:55. I'll wait till 3:57 for all of you to send me your doubts, and then I'll start clearing the doubts one by one. Okay, yeah, please start. So I'm assuming there are no doubts since none of you are texting. So I'm moving forward. The third tense that we are going to study about is known as the past perfect tense. Okay. Now, what are perfect tenses, guys? To be very, very honest, if we are looking at it very carefully, okay, any kind of a perfect tense will be when one event is happening and then we are talking about another event that's happening in the past only or in the same time frame. Okay, may that be present or future or past. Okay, so for example, if I'm saying I had just completed my work when my friend walked in, so can I say that, friend walked in is one event and me completing the work is another event? Correct? Now, look what is happening. I am representing one past event. Okay? This past event that has just been done when this past event was happening. Correct? Now, in this, we will be using had plus a verb. Now, if you ask me, do we need to actually remember all these rules? No, you don't need to remember these rules. But my sincere suggestion is you remember this rule, this rule, this rule, and this rule. Let me just put that in yellow or some other color so that you can see clearly. Okay, is that clear? All right, now let's go back and let's try to see what is present perfect tense and what is present perfect continuous tense. Okay, now simple present tense is talking about all your universal truths. So let me just write it down. Simple present is something that happens every day. Okay, something that happens every day. For example, let me just use the red ink only. I'm not able to see this. Are you guys able to see the yellow ink on the slide? Is it clearly visible? Okay. Lakshmi Satya Manikanta. No, no. Okay, all right. Okay. I'll change the ink. Don't worry. I'll change the ink. Don't worry. I'll use dark colors. I'll change the ink. But just give me one moment. A lot of you are flooding my message. Give me 1 minute. Lakshmi Satya Manikanta, you had asked me. I had just finished the submission when my friend texted me. It says past perfect. Yes, that is past perfect. Okay. Sir, I did not understand difference between perfect and continuous under past tense. Okay. So look, when I'm saying continuous, it's only one action that is continuing to happen, Anna. Okay. For example, I was teaching yesterday, no? నిన్న నేను ఒక గంటకి నేనేమో మీకు నేర్పించాను కదా పాఠం. So I was teaching. That is past continuous tense. But if I tell you I had just given a lecture when my friend texted me, then what's happening? Both of these things happened yesterday only, no? That means it's past only, no? But what exactly am I telling you about it? I'm telling one event with respect to the other. So that's going to be a perfect tense. Now am I clear? Where is the chat abstract here? Okay, all right. So now let's go to present perfect tense. In present perfect tense, yeah, we have to use this thing only to denote actions that started in the past, but they have continued in the present, and these may continue in the future. Okay, are you able to understand? For example, they have just finished their dinner. Now look at this sentence. Can I say that they started the action in past? Okay, and this action went on for a little bit of time and it's ending now, right? Yes. So such kind of sentences fall under what? Present perfect tense. Now this part and may continue into the future. 90% of times we don't use present perfect tense to denote them. Okay. Anyways, over here we use either as has or a have plus verb to understand this particular kind of a tense. Okay. All right. Next one, present perfect continuous tense. What is present perfect continuous tense? It will be have been doing, have been telling, have been running, have been eating. All the things which have been or has been for that matter will be present perfect continuous tense. Now, what exactly are these present perfect continuous tense doing? Wait, someone is asking a question. Venkat Saumya, what's the difference between they just finished and they have just finished? Well, I don't understand. You're not supposed to be writing they just finished. The subject verb agreement is wrong in that. Forget about the difference, Kanna. They just finished is wrong. Okay, all right, Kanna. So let's move on. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, I was saying about the usage of this, correct? So where do we use this present perfect continuous tense? We use present perfect continuous tense just like present perfect tense, okay? These both are very, very similar. An action needs to start in the past, continue into the present, and most likely, okay, most likely will continue into a small part of the future also. Okay. Look, in the present perfect tense, I told you that may continue into the future usually won't take place, right? 90% of cases won't take place. In present perfect continuous tense, may continue into the future usually will take place. Okay? So that's the only difference we have. For example, look at the first sentence in the present perfect tense. I have lived in Delhi since my childhood. Yes? So can I say that if I'm saying I have lived in Delhi since my childhood, does that mean right now I am in Delhi? Obviously no, right? But if I'm saying I have been living in Delhi since my childhood, that definitely tells that I'm in Delhi, no? Yes? So that's the only small difference we are going to have. So Dharani, am I clear with that difference? Dharani Vishwanathan, you've asked me a question regarding the same thing. Okay, all right. You want me to tell it once again? Okay, so see. When I'm saying past perfect tense, it is most likely a action that started in the past, like me living in Vizag, it started in the past. Okay, so let us say that I am now in Bangalore. I have shifted to Bangalore. I will still tell I have lived in Vizag since my childhood, no? If anyone asks me how many cities did you travel to, what will I tell? Nowhere. I have lived in Vizag till my, or I have lived in Vizag since my childhood. But if I am telling I have been living in Vizag since my childhood, that means I am still in Vizag, correct? So that's the only difference. Now am I clear? Okay. So can I move forward? All right. Now the next thing that we'll learn is about the future tense. Guys, if my voice is not clear, please let me know, okay? Now in future tense, the first thing again is simple future tense. As I told you, in simple future, we'll be adding will plus a verb. Okay, you don't need to remember this as a rule. You'll get habituated to it. Look, I don't want you guys to remember any of these as rules. I only want you to understand where you have to use which one. Okay? Now, a simple future tense, very clearly, you have to use to present a planned future action. Okay? That means if you're going to do something in the future, you will use a simple future tense. Now, when exactly will that be the case? If your action starts in the future and this action ends in the future, but I want to represent only one. Okay? If I don't want to represent only the starting of the action or something, I want to represent the duration in which the action is happening. This is going to be a future continuous tense. Okay? So as you can see, it will be used for an ongoing action that will occur in future. They will be playing football match next Friday, or they will be playing the match next Friday, whatever you take. Over here will be, right? So this will be is indicating that this action will continue. Okay? Am I clear to all of you? My voice is audible like slow motion sometimes. Can we? I was living in Delhi since my childhood. Guys, is my voice coming in slow motion sometimes? I switched on the fan. Yes, no, no, yes, no, 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 yes, yes. Okay. So for half of you, it's problem, and for the rest of you, it's fine. Guys, okay. So the people who are saying yes, could you please check if your signal is proper over there where you're sitting? Because I'm having full Wi-Fi signal over here, and most of the people are also saying that the voice is clear. So could you guys please once check if the signal is proper? It's fine. Okay. Okay. All right. If my voice is going distorted again, please let me know. I'll repeat the points. Okay. There's no problem at all. Now, Pratik, you're asking me, they shall be playing football for next week. No, that's not really a right way to use it. Okay. As long as it's not just a possibility, if it's a certainty, you should not be using shall. Yeah, they'll play football next Friday. But that will become what? Simple future tense, no? You're only stating the what? Starting of that action. Abhi. If you say that they will play football next Friday, you're only stating the start of that action. But when I'm saying they will be playing the match next Friday, I'm telling you that the match will go on for this much time. Okay, so that's the difference, Kana. I was living in Delhi since my childhood. Wow, first of all, that's a wrong sentence. Okay, that does not belong to any sense tense. Neither does it make sense because no, that's the wrong sentence. See, I understand you must have been using word you must have been using sentences like that, and see, it ideally should have been your primary teacher's responsibility to stop you from making such sentences, but it's okay. That's completely fine. You cannot use was living. See, when you're saying was living, it will become a past tense, right? Again, when you say since my childhood, that's also past tense. So when you're trying to tell me two events from your past, you should ideally use past perfect tense. But was living is not past perfect, no? So that sentence will become wrong. Is that okay, Pratyush? Do you understand where you're going wrong? Uh, yeah? Okay, all right. Cool. The rest of you, please, if you have any doubts like this, please keep sending me. Because see, I don't mind taking one extra class of grammar as long as you're able to understand the structure, as long as you're able to understand why this structure is coming. Only then you'll be able to, crack a lot of passages. See, your reading comprehension, as I kept telling you, a structure and the grammar are very important to understand English. So you need to understand the right way in which you have to frame sentences. Okay, so we have another doubt. Manisha is asking, what's the difference between they'll be playing football and they shall be playing football? So when I say they will be playing football, I am saying that, they're going to do this. But when I say they shall be playing football, they might or might not do it. Okay, they should do it, but I'm not sure they will. Okay, Manisha? Okay, all right. So can I move forward with the rest of tenses? I have two more tenses to cover. Now, if you look over here, the next one is future perfect tense. Okay, just like any other perfect tense, guys, we are using this future perfect tense also to describe an action that will have been completed at some point in the future. That means an action started, it went on, and it will end. See, in simple future, what are we talking about? We are talking about action starting, right? In future continuous, we are talking about from starting of the action till ending of the action, this duration. But when we are talking about future perfect, we are talking about this action or the end of the action, assuming this part is already over. Okay? So, an example for that will be she will have completed the work by tomorrow. Okay, so over here we'll use always will have plus verb. Okay, so she will have completed the work by tomorrow. Next, the last tense that we're going to look at is future perfect tense. Okay, now over here we are going to use this for an ongoing action which will be completed at some time in the future. All right, like that flyover. In July next year, you will have been constructing the flyover for 8 years. Okay, in okay, on 2nd of next month, my puppy will have been of 3 years old. Sorry, 3 months old. Okay, so that way, if you are saying that is going to be a future perfect continuous tense. Kameshwar, yeah, sure. Which one do you want me to repeat? You want me to repeat future perfect tense or future perfect continuous tense? So see, okay, I'll first repeat future perfect tense. Then I'll tell you what's the difference between future perfect and future perfect continuous tense. But before all this, how time is different from specific time? What do you mean how some time is different from specific time? What do you mean? Okay, so look, let us say that I start a class. I teach for 30 minutes and the class ends. So if I'm telling the class will be taught, that is over here, no? I'm talking about the starting of the class. But if I'm telling I have been teaching the class, then that is throughout this time, no? However, if I say that the class was entertaining, I'm talking about the end of this class, no? So that way it's different now. Okay, yeah. So now let's go back to future perfect tense. Future perfect tense, it is basically an action which will end in future. Okay, future perfect tense is an action that will have been completed at some point, as in at some different at some particular date, at some particular hour, sometime in the future. Okay, is that clear? Whereas, could you please take one example and use it for all tenses? No, because that's your homework. That's what I usually give as homework. So my homework usually for tenses goes like this. Take any random sentence you want. So Sriram is asking this, so I'm telling you. You can take any random sentence like I eat apple, anything you want to take, and make 12 sentences for all the 12 different tenses out of it. Okay, so that is your homework. I'll tell you what. You do that homework today and submit it to me, and I'll discuss that in the class tomorrow. Okay, Sriram? All right. Okay. Now let's move forward. Now, this is a part that usually we don't cover anywhere else. Okay. Aditya has it out. I am going to a movie tomorrow. Again, Aditya, this is an action I will be doing in the future, but the tense is present continuous, right? Hmm. I think you're a little confused. Look at what present continuous will be. Okay, present continuous will be actions that you're doing right now, which are extending. So I am watching a movie is present continuous. I am going to a movie tomorrow is future only now. So your sentence is wrong. You should write I will be going to a movie tomorrow. Okay. Look, I understand why a lot of your teachers wouldn't have corrected you for this. The very simple thing that a lot of teachers miss is that am, be, and all are of the same form. These are all be words. Okay, these are all B form words. However, a lot of people don't understand that B form words also have parts in tenses. Okay, for example, am is a present part. Okay, is present. Both of these are B forms. Okay, being is a present continuous, right? So these are the kind of things that you should be looking at. So I'm going to a movie tomorrow is a wrong sentence altogether. It's not a different tense. Okay. Surya Manisha, you're asking that if given more time, she would have completed answering all the questions. What type of 1 minute, 1 minute. Daddy, me talpe investment. If given more time, she would have completed answering all the questions. Hmm. Again, that sentence should be had she be okay. Okay, if given more time, she would have completed answering all the questions. Hmm. See, ideally, it should be a past perfect tense. Okay, but I'm not sure if that sentence is accurate. Ideally, that sentence should be past perfect tense. Sriram, what is the which one? Nana, there are a lot of messages after yours. Just give me 1 minute. I'll check your message and I'll tell you the answer. Sriram, which movie one are you talking about, Nana? I'm going to a movie tomorrow. It should be I will be going to a movie tomorrow, Nana. I will be going to a movie tomorrow. Okay. So are we all clear with all these 12 types of tenses? Which example did I assume, Nana? M.V.S. Subramaniam? Which example did I assume which is past perfect continuous? Okay, can you please tell me the example because I've been dealing with a lot of doubts now, so I'm not really clear which example you're talking about. Can you just type in that example? నన్ను ఒకసారి టైప్ చేయనా నన్ను టైప్ చేయి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒకసారి టైప్ చేయి are you asking me about if given more time she would have completed answering? Okay, see, if she had more time she would have been is not given in her thing. She wrote she would have completed. That is why I took it to be past perfect. Okay, if she had typed she would have been like you typed, then I would have thought of it as perfect continuous. Okay, he will complete the work by today itself. That's again going to be a future tense only, Nana. Will complete is future, no? Samuel Abhishek. So which one is your name? I'm going to call you Abhishek. So Abhishek, it's going to be a future tense. Guys, let's try to understand the whole meaning of the sentence is coming from the verbs. So depending on the structure of the verb only, we are deciding which tense it is. Okay? And how are we getting the structure of the verb? By looking at when that action is either starting or ending and which part we are telling about it. Okay? So these are 2 points that you'll have to keep in your mind. You'll have to remember. It's not it had been raining since morning. Dharani, it had been raining since morning. Okay? In that case, it'll be past perfect continuous. Okay, let's go to the next part. Verb phrases. Now, please note that verbs are not always one word. They sometimes use more than one word like am planning, will come, will not be, played, and all. These are called as verb phrases and not verbs alone. Okay? Subramaniam, actually, I still have adverbs to cover and we are coming to the end of our class. I'll tell you what, I'm giving you this homework, no? That you guys need to take one sentence and make all the tenses out of it. So please do that homework. And then tomorrow I'll again take this topic. I'll take one of my sentence and I'll show you how all the tenses are written with that sentence. Okay. So Subramaniam, you just send me your thing as a mail. You send me your homework as a mail. Okay. All right. Next part is transitive and intransitive verbs. Now this is very, very important, Nana. Since we've already understood what is an object of a sentence, I'm going to directly deal with this part. The verb, okay, don't look at me, the verb which requires an object to complete its sense is called as a transitive verb. For example, Hemant shut the window. In this, shut is the what? Verb, no? Now, if I don't have this word window over here, will you be able to tell what that sentence is trying to say? Obviously, no, right? So, we need an object for this verb to make any sense. So, that kind of a verb is known as a transitive. Now, the actual reason why these are known as transitive verbs is because they transfer the position of your subject by doing an action onto the influence with an object. That means because your subject is doing some action, the influence is moving or the influence is transiting onto the object. Okay? Whereas if I'm taking any other sentence which does not require an object, there's nothing to transfer, no? There's nothing to transit, right? So those kind of verbs are known as intransitive verbs. Okay? For example, the child is crying. Here the subject is child, no? Is crying is the predicate, no? Wherein is crying is also the verb, right? So where's the object? There's no object here. But this makes full sense, right? No object, but complete sense, no? So such kind of things are known as intransitive verbs. Okay? Am I clear? All right. Let's move forward. Now, adverbs are of three types, okay? Let me very quickly tell you what adverbs are. They're of three types. Now, we've studied adjectives, no? And I've told you that adjectives add meaning to noun, or very simply saying, they tell something about the noun. Correct? The same way, an adverb tells not only about a verb, it tells us about an adjective and it tells us about another adverb also. Okay? For example, look at this. If I'm saying they walk slowly, or actually wait, I'll give you my own example. That'll be better. You'll be able to understand more easily. Okay? Let us say I eat chicken. Okay? Now see, I usually I don't eat chicken at all. I'm a vegetarian, but let's further sake of the example say I eat chicken. Okay? So if I'm saying I eat chicken, I is the subject, eat is my verb, and chicken is the what? Object, correct? Now let me add one small word. I eat chicken fast. Okay? Or maybe I'll take this part off. I'll say I eat chicken quickly. Okay? Now if I'm saying I eat chicken quickly, First of all, who eats chicken? I. What do I eat? Chicken. How do I eat chicken? Quickly. Correct? So this quickly is telling something about my verb, no? That's why this is becoming my adverb. Okay? And these adverbs are known as adverbs to a verb. Now, the same example, let me add just one more word. I eat chicken, no? I will say I eat chicken very slowly or very quickly, whatever you want to say. Now again, who eats or what is the verb first? Catch the neck of the verb. Verb is eat, no? Who eats? I eat. What do you eat? I eat chicken. How do you eat chicken? I eat chicken slowly. But how slowly do you eat chicken? Very slowly. So this is a verb. Slowly is an adverb. Now this word very is telling me something about the adverb, no? So this also becomes an adverb, but this is an adverb to a or to an adverb. Very is an adverb. Bravely is also an adverb. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Now let us say Ram is an idiot. See, every time we take the same example, no, Ram is a good boy, Ram is a good boy, Ram is a good boy. When will he become an idiot, man? So Ram is an idiot for us, okay? All right. Now, if I'm saying Ram is an idiot, can I say that is, this part is my verb? And if I ask the question, who is? I get the answer Ram. And so this is my noun, correct? This is a noun and a subject, correct? Now, if I ask, okay, what type of person or what kind of person is Ram? You will tell me he is an idiot. That means he is one idiot. So this an idiot becomes what? An adjective, correct? So now I'm just going to add one word, is a big idiot. Now this big is telling me something about idiot, no? What type of idiot or what kind of idiot he is, no? Yes. So this big becomes an adverb. And these are known as adverbs to an adjective. An is an article. Kasi Reddy, yesterday in the class also I explained you. An is an article. Articles are all adjectives only. Okay. All right, guys. So with this, we come to an end of this class. Okay. Now, once I finish all the parts of speech, I'll upload the entire PPT once only onto the Aptitude Experts website. Videos are being given to you by your Mr. Girish. So Mr. Girish has been he has assured me that he has been sending the video links to all the students. Okay. So videos are being given to you guys by your Girish sir, and I am uploading this material as soon as the whole module of grammar is done. Okay, so this is grammar review 1. Okay, so no problem. All right, guys. You guys take care, stay safe, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Tada, bye. Have a good day.